All right, welcome back, everybody, to Rome. And now we're on to the men's quarterfinals. Alcaraz taking on Draper. Huge matchup. And kind of an important matchup for Alcaraz to get back on track. He's been obviously hurt by injury this clay season, but he has been dominant. And this is a great opportunity to see what Draper can truly do, because this is like, he's playing against the favorite of the French, right? This is I think we all agree that Alcaraz is the favorite for the French, right? Defending champion, he's been dominant on clay. If Draper is able to beat Alcaraz, then I think we all have to put Draper in a totally different category. Instead of him being like maybe an outsider to win the French, he's got to be a contender if he beats Alcaraz, especially on this clay court. Last week in Madrid, he did make the final. He did beat Musetti, which is a huge win because Musetti's been really good on clay as well. Lost to Ruud in the end, maybe expectedly, but if he can beat Alcaraz on this clay, he's got to be a favorite. We can't be saying that he's a dark horse or even like a chance of making this. He's got to be a favorite after beating this guy, right? If he can beat this guy, if Alcaraz wins this, it just keeps him as the favorite to win for me anyway. But let's see what happens. Let's see what Draper can do, because this is a true test. He can beat Alcaraz. We know he can. All right. If Draper beats Alcaraz should be very concerned. No, he shouldn't. If Alcaraz loses to Draper, it says more about Draper than Alcaraz. Draper is learning a lot from Sinner. Yeah, I mean, he's been practicing a lot with Sinner lately, but yeah. All right. Beautiful to see Sinner visit the Pope, yeah. Should be a good one, yeah. This should be a very good one. Draper in 3, you reckon? Okay. Well, the players are about to walk out on court, so let's see what they can do. Let's see what they can do. The whole Sinner family went to visit the new Pope. Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Love to see it. Rome's been great so far. Yeah, Rome has definitely been the best combined event since Australian Open, I would say. And Chad, I said this yesterday, it's crazy how much better the quality of tennis has been from the top guys now that Sinner's back. Like, it can't be a coincidence. We can't be saying, oh, well, it's such a coincidence that Sinner, for 3 months while he was gone, everybody played very randomly. Like, some players would win a tournament and lose the next round. And now, everybody all of a sudden, now that Sinner's back, we have we could get a possibility. There's a possibility that the only player that isn't inside the top 12 going to this tournament this week was Hurkacz. Hurkacz has been former top 10, though. So the lineup of quarterfinalists, if Ruud beats Munar, is ridiculous. It can't be a coincidence that everyone started to play well when Sinner come back. Like, everybody realized tennis is serious now. We better not mess about. Because before this, Indian Wells, everybody who made the semis in Indian Wells lost in Miami, right? So the consistency was just wild. Players that did well in Monte Carlo didn't do so well in Madrid or didn't even play Madrid. Or players that did well in Madrid hadn't done well before that, in Monte Carlo, for example. But now, everybody who were expecting to do well over the last 3 months, Sinner comes back and they're like, oh shit, we better start playing well now. And everybody has. Everybody's making the quarters, and it's, we've got 2 top 10 clubs. When was the last time, and if Ruud wins, I know Ruud's not in the top 10. Ruud is back in the top 10. He wasn't for last week, but he is now. When was the last time we had 3 matches in the quarterfinals that were top 10 clashes? I can't remember on the men's side, which is so weird because it used to be all the time. 3 top 10 clashes in the quarters for the men. For the ladies, we've had it. Today we've got 2 of them, right? But on the men's side, when was the last time we had 3 top 10 quarterfinal clashes? I don't remember. Like maybe last year, like it hasn't been this year. We haven't had that. Australian Open, was that quarterfinal 3? Australian Open, we had 2 top 10 clashes. Sinner, Demonor, Alcaraz, Djokovic, but 3? I mean, that hasn't happened all year. I mean, I'm trying to think, like US Open last year, I don't even know. Like Beijing, Shanghai, like I'm thinking of tournaments where everybody was doing okay. Maybe Shanghai? Because Djokovic didn't play after that, and Djokovic did make the final. Shanghai, we had a lot of we didn't have too many top 10 clashes, but we did have top 10 players. 5 top 10 players in the quarterfinals, which is pretty massive. US Open, I don't remember the US Open being top 10 heavy. No, we didn't. There was only 1 top 10 clash at the US Open in the quarters. Cincy, maybe? Cincinnati only had 1 top 10 clash. I mean, Chad, we're going to go way back. Maybe Wimbledon. Wimbledon, maybe. Chad, nobody's contributing. What? I'm doing all the research. What's going on? Wimbledon had 2 top 10 clashes, but we only got one of them because Demonor pulled out. Yeah, it's been a long time. French Open last year was the last time we had a lineup like this. Novak versus Kasper, Zverev, Demonor, Tsitsipas, Alcaraz, Sinner, Dimitrov. 11 was the lowest ranking of that lot. It was 1v7, 4v11, 9v3, 10v2. Roland Garros last year was the last time we had this sort of a lineup. And then we had 7v4 and 3v2, and then the final was 4v3. So French Open last year was the last time we had a decent tournament on the men's side, which is crazy. Like when I say decent, I mean a consistent, good, all round. And I mean, you can go back to the 4th round too, when we had some 5-set bangers there. You had Fritz Ruud, you had Cerundolo, Djokovic, Zverev, Runa, Medvedev, Demonor, right? I mean, there's more. Hurkacz, Dimitrov as well. French Open last year was probably the last great ATP event. And this might be the one that tops it, maybe. Indian Wells this year looked better, but a lot better with current rankings. Yeah, but we're talking about like at the time. Like, yeah, Indian Wells in hindsight was a great event. But at the time, it was like, oh, Greek sport Runa, okay. Feast to Medvedev, okay, cool. Shelton Draper, yeah. Cerundolo, Alcaraz. I still say French Open last year was way better than that, and this tournament is way better than that. Because even Cerundolo and what are you talking about? I mean, Greek sport, Feast, Medvedev, Shelton, Cerundolo. None of them are in the top 10 at the moment. Even though, yes, Shelton and Cerundolo and Feast all great, but I still say this has been better than that. This is better than Indian Wells, the Indian Wells lineup. Indian Wells lineup didn't have a top 10 clash at all, even in the finals. There was no top 10 clashes in Indian Wells. So I still say Rome's been the best tournament, best men's event of the year. Best men's event since Roland Garros 2024. All right, let's see if this match can provide some excitement. Quarterfinal number 1, we've still got 4th round matches going on with Ruud and Munar, but keep an eye on that as well. Raducanu playing good tennis, is she? I want more from her. Yeah, she played really good this week. She's playing next week too. What a match. Don't mind who wins. Like them both. Carlos my favorite, but Jack is British like me. All right. Well, we'll find out pretty quickly whether or not Draper's got the stamina to go with Alcaraz. He's been talking about his energy levels this week that haven't been optimal. But we'll see whether or not he is up to it today. Coco and Draper rivalry is getting better every match. I mean, if you're a Coco fan, it's the best. It's awesome. You love that. You love that match. All right. Alcaraz with a nose strip and also the leg sleeve. He's been rocking it all week. And Draper, I think he just has ankle braces on at the moment. If Draper beats Alcaraz here, cheers to him, but over 5 sets is a different animal. True, but if he wins this, it's still massive. I was thinking of I was thinking semi with Medi Runa and Draper Alcaraz. Yeah, that's a good lineup for sure. Like, you're right. That is a good. That were great, good matches. But I still think this tournament has better matches earlier, right? Like, these matches are happening earlier, which means that this tournament is crazy. Whereas in Madrid, we didn't. I mean, even in Monte Carlo, right? If we compare this to Monte Carlo, this lineup is way better than Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo was, Alcaraz face was good, but then you had Popper and Fokina. You had Dimitrov Demonor, which was terrible, and then you had Tsitsipas Musetti, which was good. And then the final was Musetti Alcaraz, and there was a few 3-setters, but this still, like, the lineup here is ridiculous. It's the best lineup from the quarterfinals we've had all year easily. And even if you look, not just on ranking, but if you look at, like, form, Sinner coming back from, but obviously the king. Paul's been really good. Draper and Alcaraz obviously have had great form this year. Musetti's been great on the clay. Zverev struggling for form, but, defending champion. Hurkacz has been injured all year. And then you put Ruud, who's just won Madrid. So, like, the 8 quarterfinalists all are all, they've all got, like, slightly different stories, But they're all still, like, Draper's been great. Alcaraz's been great. Paul's been sneaky good. Musetti's been great. Ruud's been great. Sinner's coming back, but he's been great, even though he had a 3-month break. Hurkacz is coming back from injury, but has been great. And Zverev's the defending champion. We know he can be great. So, again, like, all of these, like, they're just such a great lineup. It's Chad, finally, right? I mean, this friggin' ATP's been giving me the shits all year. Men's tennis has been annoying me all year. But finally, we get to Rome. Sinner comes back and everyone steps the hell up. It's about damn time. Let's see if this match delivers. We probably need Draper to win the first set to make this a 3-setter, I would say. I don't think Alcaraz is going to lose from a setup if Draper has that. It doesn't have the gases. We get a volley from Draper. Alcaraz with the forehand in the net. First point, Draper, 15-love. Draper serving first. All right. 15-love. First point goes to Draper. And chat, this is a serious match. We've got to lock the hell in. This is a serious match. As with a forehand out of the back end of Draper. Into the forehand of Alcaraz on the stretch. Goes down the line of the forehand of Draper on the stretch. Alcaraz forehand cross court. Winner. 15-all. 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 Serve again. Now we're going to lock in. This is super important. 15-all. Draper serves. As the return goes into the backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand of Draper again. The backhand of Alcaraz. Draper into the backhand again of Alcaraz. And Alcaraz sprays it. 30-15. Pushes it wide. 30-15. All right, serve again. As Draper serves a let, 30-15. That was on the line just. 30-15. Draper serves again. Into the forehand Alcaraz. Forehand in the net from Alcaraz. 40-15. 40-15. As Draper serves again. A fault. Second serve. Second serve is a double fault. 40-30. 40-30. By the way, Rude's up a set and a break. And again, I don't know whether or not Gauff or Eala are going to play straight away or if they're going to have a little bit of extra time to prepare. They're supposed to play straight after Rude, but I don't know. All right. Nice serving, Draper. 1-love. 1-0. Draper. By the way, Chad, apparently Gauff and Eala don't like the name Coachella, so we've got to change it. Gauff said, we don't like Coachella. So we can't use Coachella. We have to use another name. And Koala doesn't sound as good. So we need to figure that out for the next match. 1-love Draper. All right, 1-love. Chat, someone tells me that maybe Coco Gauff watched the channel. She heard us say Coachella and she's like, no. Oh, nah, nobody's seen this channel. All right, 1-love. No players. There's no players coming here. Forehand on the stretch is out by Draper. 15-love. All right, 15-love. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve into the forehand of Draper. Return goes to the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper, the backhand of Alcaraz. He slices it, but it goes long. 15-all. 15-all. By the way, Tim Henman in the house. Team Europe vice captain. 15-all. All right, 15-all. As a return from Draper goes the backhand of Alcaraz. Draper slice is a lob. As we get a smash from Alcaraz, winner 30-15. You never know, Cam. You have over 200,000 subscribers. Yeah, but I don't think tennis players are watching YouTube. 30-15. So Alcaraz serves again. Into the backhand of Draper. Return goes to the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper backhand. Again to the backhand of Alcaraz. Sliced. Draper slices it back. Alcaraz runs around. Hits the forehand inside out. Draper gets on the stretch. Alcaraz forehand down the line. Draper's there with a lob, but it's wide. He shanked it into the crowd instead. 40-15. As the return goes into the backhand of Draper, forehand from Alcaraz. Again, the backhand of Draper. Draper hits it long, and Alcaraz holds. 1-all, sorry. 1-all. 1-game-all. All right, Draper to serve. As we do 15 love. Good serve from Draper. As we do Shank from Alcaraz. 30 love. 30 love. $30 love. Draper serves again. Here's a fault. Second serve. As a return goes into the back end of Draper. Forehand from Alcaraz. Into the forehand of Draper. And Draper hits it long. 30-15. Is Draper the player that in years to come will challenge Sinner and Alcaraz? Look, I would say now. I mean, he is. Yeah, he's that player. But he's also like, but I would be saying he's the player that challenged him now, not years to come. He's challenging him right now. You know? I'd say in a year, maybe. Like this time next year, maybe he starts pushing Sinner. Maybe he beats Alcaraz again. And like, I'd say Draper is here now. You know? I don't think we have to wait years to come. He's here. You know, 30-15 is Alcaraz backhand, the backhand of Draper to the forehand of Alcaraz. As Draper gets a free point, Alcaraz shanks it 40-15. Hey, Mariana, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate that. 40-15. Draper serves. A let. Serve again. As with a forehand out of the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand from Draper. Into the backhand slice Alcaraz. Draper. Cross-court forehand. Alcaraz gets it with the backhand, but it's in the net. 2-1 Draper. Holds, stays in front. Early days. 2-1. 2-1. All right. What's going on? Rude, by the way, 3-2 in the second. He won the first set. What's going on? Dorothy, how you doing? He can win more slams than Murray. Okay. Sky's the limit for Jack, but his health and if he doesn't get injured a lot, decide his trajectory. Maybe, yeah. Are we watching Mercedes Zverev? Maybe. Probably. Possibly. Chat, let me know in the chat while we have a chance to talk before things get real serious. What music are you listening to right now? Well, give me one band or singer that you're listening to right now. And I'll tell you the one that I'm listening to right now. What music, what sort of, what is there an artist or a band that you're listening to right now that you're like, hey, I've been listening to a lot of this person or these people? Oasis. Nice. Nothing? Okay. Offspring? U2? Nice. Joji? Wiz Khalifa? Okay. Arctic Monkeys? Mumford & Sons? New Mumford & Sons, to be honest. Really? Green Day? Jackson 5? Luke Combs? Coldplay? Keith Urban? Michael Jackson? Def Leppard? I love how no one's saying anything new. Everyone's going back to the old school. I love it. Like, everyone's like, oh, I'm not listening to anything on the radio right now. Blackpink, okay. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Savage Garden. All right. Panic at the Disco. Interesting. I've been on like a Huey Lewis kick the last 2 days. I watched a documentary of Huey Lewis, and I'm like, didn't realize how many good tunes he had. Like, shit, he sang that too. 15 love. As Alcaraz serves. As the return goes into the forehand of Alcaraz, and Alcaraz puts away the winner. 30 love. Unlisten music in the car on long journeys. We have ancient stuff. Okay, that's cool. Listen to Imagination. They're the best. Okay. When sports came out in 83, they really came into their own. Oh, yeah. I watched a documentary about it, about him and his band. It's classic. He like was like, the thing is with Huey Lewis, I didn't realize. I always knew that he was like older than like, you know, in the 80s. He wasn't like, you know, 20, but he like broke out at like 30. Like, they started doing their best stuff at like 35. Yet, I mean, if a 35-year-old does well, and like, imagine like, I mean, Taylor Swift's sort of like 35, I guess, but like, he kind of broke out at like an older age, right? Than like all the, you know, the young 80s bands and 80s singers at the time, right? Sort of on the older end, which is cool. Really sad that he lost his hearing and stuff, but dude is classic. When I hear Huey Lewis, I can't help think about American Psycho. That movie is classic though. You know, when you like, I feel like the 80s have just like, there's just songs, like there's a group of songs that just like you hear and you're like, that is 1980. Like, I wasn't even alive in the 80s, so I have no idea. But when I think 80s, there's certain music that I hear and I'm like, that would have been playing all the time throughout the entire decade. And he is one of those artists where you're just like, yeah, they would have played Huey Lewis all the time in the 80s. It would have been everywhere. All right, 15 love. As that backhand goes wide by Draper, 15-0. Van Halen, yeah, Van Halen's another one. Timeless, yeah. Whereas when I think like 90s, I think like grungy, you know, everyone talk about grunge, you know, maybe a bit of pop. And then like 2000s, especially early 2000s, like Britney and like boy bands and stuff. And then like maybe a little bit of rock as well. And maybe some like emo punk rock, right? Bit of Blink, maybe, you know, Green Day. And then like 2010s, all I think about is like dance music. Like electronic dance music is all from the 2010s. 30-15. As Draper serves into the back end of Alcaraz, return goes wide. It's 40-15. I got to put an American Psycho on my list of movies that I got to find. American Psycho is on my list. Got to go find it. Yeah, Avicii was like 2010s. Like Avicii, Calvin Harris, Martin Garrix, you know, all that stuff. Backhand goes wide by Alcaraz, 3-2. Cam, do you play any instruments or sing? I definitely don't sing. I can play guitar, but like very basic. When I think of Huey Lewis, I think of Back to the Future, Power of Love. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Again, like classic movie, 80s movie with a like classic soundtrack. Like I was watching, I watched The Faculty the other day because you guys, like I found it at the thrift store, and I watched that, and the music on that is so 90s. And then I listened to the soundtrack of that movie, and every song's a banger. Like all the songs on that, I'm just like, they're like the B-side of like a lot of. We'll get off this topic in a second, but I watched The Faculty and I'm like, this music's awesome. And then I listened to the movie soundtrack, and you had The Offspring, you had Creed, Garbage, Oasis was on it. Like they've just got so many, like it just had so many like 90s vibes. And I was like, I was listening to the soundtrack. I was like, this is cool. Just send you back. All right. 3-2. 3-2. Alcaraz to serve. 20 minutes played. Green Day are great. My daughter played guitar on stage with them in 2005 at the Heineken Festa in Monza. That's cool. That's so cool. All right, Alcaraz serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve, Alcaraz. Into the forehand of Draper. Back into Alcaraz on the stretch. Draper, forehand inside out off the tape. Goes long, and it's 15-love. Who's going to break first? We'll find out right after this. All right, 15-love. As Alcaraz serves again. Into the back end of Draper. Forehand from Alcaraz. Into the forehand of Draper. Is Alcaraz forehand shanked long, and it's 15-all. Is Tame Impala still popular in Australia? No. I do not know who they are. Never heard of Tame Impala. I probably heard of their songs, but never heard of them. Never heard of them. Probably heard their music, though. Forehand goes down the line. The forehand of Alcaraz. Draper. Oof. Alcaraz in the net. Okay. 15-30. Chance. A chance for a break for Draper here. Also, Ruud is about to get broken back in his match. 15-30. Serve to the front of Draper. Return goes to the front of Alcaraz. Draper, a backhand cross court. Great shot. Alcaraz gets there. As Draper slices it down the line. Alcaraz backhand cross. Draper's got it. With a forehand to the backhand of Alcaraz. Draper forehand again. Down the line of the forehand of Alcaraz sliced as Draper. Down the line forehand. Alcaraz gets it with a slice again. But it goes out. Draper's got break points. 15-40. To get the first break of the match. Also, chat, there is rain on the way. It might rain today. There might be some delays, so keep that in mind. The weather is crappy in the next couple of days as well, but we'll just keep an eye on the weather. We did have rain delays yesterday pretty badly, so hopefully nothing like that, but the clouds are dark. As the return goes into the forehand of Alcaraz, he puts it away, and it's 30-40, one saved. 30-40. 30-40. Serve again. Still break point for Draper. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Double fault. Draper gets the break. 4-2. God, Carlos came out here real shaky. Now, apparently it's windy. I can't see it too much breeze from courtside, but it is a little bit of a breeze around. Nothing crazy, but there is wind around. All right. Draper breaks. As he serves. A fault. Second serve. Serving to the backhand of Alcaraz. Draper backhand to the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper backhand pass in the net. 15. Love 15. Love 15. Draper serves again. As a return goes in the forehand of Draper. Forehand from Alcaraz. And Draper slice goes in. And then Alcaraz with a smash. Draper gets there but puts in the net. Love 30. Love 30. All right, love 30. Nice hitting from Alcaraz. As the return goes in the forehand of Draper. Alcaraz backhand into the forehand of Draper. As Alcaraz again to the forehand of Draper. Inside out, good shot. Draper now in trouble. As Alcaraz gets to love 40. Good hitting.
Unbelievable.
Very nice hitting from Alcaraz. Love 40. Love 40. Love 40. Draper serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve, the front of Alcaraz. Good return. Draper backhand goes wide. Alcaraz breaks straight back. And he shakes his fist, Alcaraz. 4-3. And gets back on serve. Okay. By the way, Rude's up 5-3 against Munar. So he's hanging on. All right, 5-3. Cool. So chat, we've got the doubles with Gauff and Eala coming up shortly. We'll have to add that onto the card. And then in about 3 hours, we've got the night session with Sabalenka Zhang and then Zverev versus Musetti. Hey, thank you, Ross Wither, for becoming a member. Appreciate that. Welcome. Cam, have you seen The Last Dance? Last Dance with MJ? Yeah, I have. That's all I watched in 2020. At the start of 2020. It's one of the greatest sporting documentaries at the perfect time to have one because there was nothing else to watch. It was the only sporting content on because sports were shut down. So yeah, I've watched it. I haven't watched it since then. Can I get it on DVD? Can I buy it on? Oh yeah, I can buy it on DVD. Chad, I'm buying DVDs. I'm buying DVDs. Oh, it was a 10-part documentary series on Blu-ray. Ooh. All right. Nice hitting from Alcaraz. 15 love. $15 love. Alcaraz serves again. Into the backhand Draper. He can't get it back though. 30 love. 30 love. Buying DVDs like it's 2003. Yeah, I'm not buying recklessly, just buying a bunch of DVDs. I'm just getting like, I'm just going off streaming for a bit. I'm just trying not to have, I don't want to have streaming services. As that goes in there from Alcaraz 30-15. $30-15. I'm just doing, it's just like it's almost like when people go like vegetarian for a month, they just want to just try it and see what it's like, see what it is. I'm the same with DVDs. I'm like, I'm just not going to use Netflix and streaming services for like a month or two and see if it makes me feel any better. You know, it makes me feel like I'm actually watching things of substance, right? Instead of just binge watching slop. You know what I'm saying? Like watching streaming, and that's fun to binge watch, but like just sitting in front of a TV and watching when I'm not doing this. I want to be a little bit more like selective and watch things that I either haven't watched or not watch crazy shit. As that goes down the line for a winner there from Draper. Beautiful backhand pass, 40-30. I have thousands of DVDs. Yeah, DVDs are great. All right, 40-30. Alcaraz serves again. A let. And I love going to the thrift store. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go to the thrift store and I'm going to start hunting for DVDs movies that I've never watched. Instead of like scrolling through Netflix to find movies I haven't seen, I'd rather go to a thrift store and try and find like classic movies that I've never watched and buy it for $1. Instead of getting Netflix for like whatever it is, like $15 a month or whatever, I'd rather go to a thrift store and like search for a movie that I've never seen. I need to get I'm on the lookout for There Will Be Blood and Gangs of New York. Classics. Love those two movies. Classics. That's what I'm looking for this weekend. Going to the thrift and I'm going to look for those movies. Gangs of New York is all time. It's got Leo. Daniel Day-Lewis is a beast. Yeah. There's got a backhand winner down the line, Cameron Diaz. I mean, Gangs of New York might be one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Liam Neeson. It's awesome. Anyways, great backhand winner from Draper. 15 love. Rude gets a win. Nice. No Country for Old Men is also really good. Yeah, I don't mind that too. That's good too. All right, 15 love. 7 to the forehand of Alcaraz. And then Draper in the net, 15-all. Once Upon a Time in America is another good gang movie. Okay. I haven't been to a cinema in a long time. I'm definitely going sometime this summer. Yeah, definitely go to the cinema. I went to the cinema the other day and watched Thunderbolts. Drop shot from Alcaraz is too good. No, Draper gets it, but then Alcaraz volleys it away. 15-30. 15-30. The only physical media I buy now are 4K David Attenborough documentaries. That man is a treasure. Hey, yeah, fair enough. I might get to that where I start getting like at the start, I'm just getting like cheap DVDs from the thrift store. But then I might like upgrade to Blu-ray or upgrade to 4K. But for now, I'm just like, I just want a collection of movies in case like my power goes out or I don't have internet. Cam locking in on DVDs. Yeah, DVDs are so inexpensive. Anyways, 15-30. As it a 4-0 from Alcaraz. Down the line at the backhand of Draper, and he hits it wide. Alcaraz got break points, 15-40. To get the lead and serve for the set. 15-40. What do you think about the Thunderbolts? I loved it. I thought it was great. It felt like Marvel again. It felt like Marvel. All right, 15-40. I can't wait for Fantastic Four. I'm excited for that. As we back in now to the forehand of Draper. Draper shanks it along. 5-4. Alcaraz going to serve for the set. Remember, Draper was up 4-2. He's been broken twice in a row. I had seen There Will Be Blood. It's bloody good. Oh, yeah. There Will Be Blood is a classic. Yeah. Those movies are insane. Do you like Star Wars? I respect Star Wars. I don't. It's not necessarily like I feel like Marvel movies are sort of like my version of Star Wars. I never, because when I was a kid, Star Wars was like episode 1 and 2, 3, right? And they were crap. The original Star Wars are good. I respect it, but I don't watch, it's not really something I'd watch. Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is on my list. I got to find Lord of the Rings. Goodfellas. Goodfellas is classic too. Goodfellas is on my list as well. Love that. How was the Thunderbolts movie? Was it good? Thunderbolts was great. It wasn't like the greatest Marvel movie ever, but it was like better than most of the ones that are coming out. It just felt like Marvel. It was probably like, it kind of felt like a little bit of like Guardians of the Galaxy crossed with like Captain America-ish movies, like a bit of political, but really jokey and fun and quirky. So it had like a good mixture. It was serious, but not too serious, but then it was also like silly, but not too silly. So it had that kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy / like Captain America, 1 and 2. It was a good mix. All right, Alcaraz serving for the set. As we had a return from Draper into the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper forehand to the backhand of Alcaraz. Into the forehand of Draper on the stretch. Alcaraz backhand down the line. Draper gets it. Off the tape to the slice of Alcaraz. He hits a drop shot in the net, though, and it's love 15. Django. Yeah, Django's on my list, too. All Tarantino movies are on my list. If I see anything Tarantino, I will be getting it. All right, love 15. Sinner versus Rude is tomorrow. Yeah, that's going to be tomorrow night. 100% tomorrow night. Love 15. Serve is a fault. Second serve. So tomorrow, chat, we've got women's semi-finals and men's quarterfinals, top half of the draw. So Rude versus Sinner, Hurkacz Paul, and then Paolini Stearns, and Gauff versus the winner of tonight's match. So you'd think it's probably going to be Gauff Sabalenka tomorrow night with Sinner and Rude, and then the day matches will be Paolini versus Stearns and Hurkacz versus Paul. And it was love 15. Draper back into the line. Alcaraz gets on the stretch. Then Draper slice. Alcaraz back in control. Hits a forehand cross-court winner. 15-0. Nice pickups by Alcaraz. 15-0. Big Lebowski. That's on my list too. That is definitely on my list as well. Don't forget Casino. Yeah. Again, Scorsese, Tarantino, Nolan, like basically any movies by those guys is on my list. All right, 15-0. That's sort of fault. Second serve. Second serve. And chat, I'm going to I'm going to use... I feel like DVD covers are so, like, the artwork and stuff is so cool that it's almost lost because, like, you know, people design that shit and then people don't even give a shit now, right? Because now it's just like a little thumbnail in a streaming service that nobody cares about. And usually they don't even use the cover of the DVD. They use just like a movie scene. I feel like it's a lost art. Like the cover of a DVD. It's like record covers, right? The artwork on the record covers is great compared to like just flicking through streaming. You know? So I'm going to like display it so I can actually like display the nice DVD covers everywhere. Especially like when it's Christmas and I have all the Christmas DVDs on my wall, so then it makes it a whole decoration. I'm going to create a whole video store. All right. 1530. 100% covers are iconic. Yeah. 1530. As Draper looks to break back. First serve is a let. Shout out to graphic designers. Yeah. Shout out to graphic designers, and may you always have work to do because AI slop is not it. 1530. As it is serving to the forehand of Draper. Return goes to the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper slice. Then Alcaraz comes in with a drop volley, but Draper gets it. Alcaraz was way too casual. Don't know why Alcaraz didn't put that away. He just went, I'm just going to put it in the open court. As if Draper can't run. 1540, we're about to get back on serve. Alcaraz too casual. Way too casual. All right, 1540. Lock in, Cam. Excuse me? 1540. Alcaraz serves. Into the back of Draper. Return goes to the front of Alcaraz. Draper, forehand on the stretch. Goes wide. 30-40. Still break point for Draper to get back on serve. Also, we do have the women's doubles match coming up at 2 so we're going to put that on the card. As that goes out by Draper on the return, we get the deuce. But they're going to give Gauff a little bit extra time, I think. Oh, no. By the way, it's so packed at the doubles. We love to see it. All right, deuce. As Alcaraz serves. Into the back of Draper. Return goes to the front of Alcaraz. Draper on the stretch. Goes in. Alcaraz comes in, though, and puts it away. Advantage, Alcaraz. Set point to take the first set. Advantage, Alcaraz. He serves. Alcaraz with the serve. There's a fault. Second serve. Serving to the front of Draper. Return the backhand of Alcaraz. Draper on the stretch backhand. Goes wide. First set goes to Carlos. 6-4. He was down 4-2. He comes back to win it, and he almost gave it back at the very end, but Alcaraz holds. Wins 4 in a row. Wins a set. 6-4. Okay. 6-4 goes to Alcaraz. But Draper, I mean, he was in that first set for sure. Not many winners, by the way. 4 winners, Draper, 7 errors. 10 winners, Alcaraz, 7 errors. So Draper maybe getting the early errors from Alcaraz, but then after that, he wasn't able to really hit it through Alcaraz. All right, doubleheader on the cards because Eala and Gauff, which we've got to figure out a new name because they don't like Coachella, so we've got to figure out a new name. But the Gauff-Eala combo are taking on Irani and Paolini. Now, if you know anything about doubles, you'll know that this is a big deal because Irani and Paolini, gold medal at the Olympics, very capable, and not only that, but also very popular because they're in Italy and they're the best Italian doubles combo going around. So, very important matchup to watch, and I mean high profile, right? Because you've got Gauff, she's just won today early as well. Eala, obviously, very very popular player at the moment. And yeah, very interesting matchup. We could be getting Paolini versus Gauff could be the final of Rome, so they might play twice this week. And we're also watching Alcaraz. He won the first set 6-4. Draper put in a really good effort unfortunately, until the end of the until 4-2, and then after that it was all Alcaraz. All right. All right. Here we go. Draper to serve first in the second. Carlos is way better than Sinner. Actually, just too generous and risky. Okay. All right. 42-minute first set, by the way. Draper to serve first in the second. So scheduled tomorrow, no surprise. It's exactly what I said it was going to be. Not bragging, but just mentioning. Hurkacz Paul first, followed by Paolini Stearns. Night session Sinner Ruud, followed by Sabalenka versus or Gauff. Sabalenka Zhang or Gauff. Wait, Sabalenka or Zhang versus Gauff. So no surprise there. That makes total sense. But yeah, we'll be watching all of that tomorrow. Love 15. First point goes to Carlos. As Draper serves out wide the back of Alcaraz. Return goes to the back of Draper. But Draper hits it out. Love 30. Love 30. Alcaraz a chance to get the break straight away. Love 30. Serve again. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Lob goes in to the forehand of Draper. Alcaraz backhand slice. But Draper backhand goes in the forehand of Alcaraz. Hits a passing shot winner.
This is going to be on Tennis TV, bro.
If you're going to hit a volley, you better put it away. Carlos is too quick. Love 40. Alcaraz to keep the streak alive. And extend it to 5 games. That was just too good. All right. As we return now to the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand from Draper to the backhand volley. Alcaraz puts it away. There's the break. 1-love in the second. All right. 1-0 in the second. Alcaraz won 5 games in a row. Here we go. Back to Alcaraz. He's broken Draper 3 times in a row now. There's Draper. Backhand return. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper forehand. Again, the forehand of Alcaraz into the backhand of Draper. Alcaraz backhand slice in the net. Love 15. The women's doubles, by the way, is about to, well, they're about to come out on court. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Love 15. As we default, second serve. Serving to the forehand of Draper. Draper hits it out. And it's 15 all. Alcaraz serves. Into the backhand of Draper. Draper in the net. 30-15. 30-15. All right, 30-15. And Alcaraz serves again. A let. Serve again. Into the forehand of Draper. Forehand of Alcaraz. Goes long, and it's 30 all. As the return goes in the forehand of Alcaraz, down the line of the back to the forehand of Draper. Draper overhits it though, and it's 40-30. Alcaraz to consolidate the break. As he does. No, he doesn't. Sorry, my bad. He chanked it.
Unbelievable.
Anyways, deuce. He gets a deuce. And as Alcaraz serves in the forehand of Draper, let. As Alcaraz comes down with a volley and puts it away. Advantage Alcaraz. Advantage Alcaraz. As we return now from Draper to the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper backhand. Into the forehand of Alcaraz is Draper backhand again. To the forehand of Alcaraz down the line. The forehand of Draper on the stretch. Alcaraz backhand down the line. Draper gets with the backhand cross. Alcaraz forehand goes long, and we get back to deuce. Back to deuce. As Alcaraz with a nice forehand winner, and it's advantage Alcaraz. Advantage Alcaraz. As a return goes into the backhand out of Alcaraz, but he hits it in the net. We're back to deuce. Nice hitting from Draper. Good return. We get to deuce. All right, back to deuce. As we serve into the backhand of Draper, down the line, the backhand of Alcaraz. Draper puts up a lob. And Alcaraz puts away the smash. Advantage Alcaraz. Advantage Alcaraz to take the 2-love lead and win 6 games in a row. Serving to the forehand of Draper. Return the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper gets a point though. Alcaraz overhits it. This feels like a very important game. Mainly for Draper. I think Draper needs to win this one more than Alcaraz. Just to stop the run of games. All right. Forehand from Alcaraz. The forehand of Draper. Alcaraz forehand cross court in the net. Advantage Draper. Draper to get back on serve. Advantage Draper. Alcaraz serves a fault. Second serve. To the forehand of Draper. Return the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper back in on the stretch. As Alcaraz hits a drop shot in the net. We're back on serve. Draper breaks straight back. 1-all. 1-1. Okay. 1-1. All right, 15 love. Good serving with Draper. As that goes wide by Alcaraz on the return. 30 love. As it Draper serves an ace. 40 love. $40 love. And a fault. Second serve into the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper in the net. 40-15. We get another fault. Second serve. As a return from Alcaraz goes wide. Draper leads. 2-1 in the second. He was down a set and a break. Okay. Still waiting for Gauff and Eala to hit the court. They're not on yet, but we'll see. Hopefully they'll be on soon. Why Carlos come on? Well, at least there is some great shots in there. Yeah. Draper is fighting well, yeah. And I'll tell you what, Draper doesn't look tired, which is a good thing because we thought he would look tired. By the way, why has Draper got tips in his hair? I haven't seen somebody with a hair like that since like 2000. I want to say 2007. I had hair like that. Gauff won't cancel her doubles. No. She'll play. She'll play because she's not playing until tomorrow night. So she'll play. Fashion comes back. I was going to say if Draper wins his tournament, I'll dye my hair that way, but I'm not going to do that. Sorry. I'm not going to do that. It was different when I said Mensing in Miami because it was so far-fetched that he would win that title from when he, like in the second round, and he did. So I take that, but I'm not risking my hair on Draper because Draper could win this, and I don't feel comfortable saying that he won't. So I'm not risking it. I'm not putting blonde highlight tips in my hair for Draper winning this title. I'm not risking that. That's not worth it. Mensing Miami, okay. Not Draper in Rome. I mean, come on now. Anyways, 2-1. Draper leads. Jesus. Vince, you need to relax, buddy. Please relax. As that goes out by Alcaraz, love 15. Love 15. If you're just joining us, Alcaraz won 5 games in a row from 4-2 down, or 2-4 down. Came back to win, and then got the break in the second, but then now it's been Draper, 2 games in a row. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. There's a bit of forehand now from Draper, from Alcaraz, the backhand of Draper. Alcaraz forehand down the line. Draper gets on the stretch, puts up a lob. Then Alcaraz with a smash, puts it away. 15 all. All right, 15 all. As we return into the forehand of Draper, backing out from Alcaraz. Again, the forehand of Draper is Alcaraz forehand on the stretch. Alcaraz goes in that backhand of Draper. Now the forehand of Alcaraz down the line. Draper gets on the stretch with the forehand again to the backhand of Alcaraz. Draper down the line forehand is too strong. 15-30. $15-30. $15-30. Chance for a break for Draper. All right, 15-30. As Alcaraz serves, a fault. Second serve. Second serve. And then Draper hits a return wide. 30 all. All right, 30 all. Alcaraz serves again. Serves a fault, second serve. Double fault. All right. Break point for Draper. As we just serve in the back of the Draper, but Draper in the net. Alcaraz gets the deuce. Alcaraz gets the deuce. As we return from Draper, Alcaraz goes down the line, then Draper slaps the ball long. And it's advantage, Alcaraz. Advantage, Alcaraz to take the game and level this second set. As Alcaraz to the forehand down the line, Draper gets on the stretch. Alcaraz backhand down the line as Draper goes cross court. Alcaraz gets on the stretch again. Draper in control, but he hits it wide. Good rally, 2-0. 2-2. Alcaraz holds. Two all. All right. Draper to serve. Into the front of Alcaraz, and Alcaraz hits it out. 15 love. 15 love. As Draper comes in, hits a forehand cross-court winner. 30 love. As Draper serves another fault, second serve. By the way, we've got to wait about 20 minutes until the double starts, so they're giving Gauff an extra time. As the backhand down the line to the backhand of Alcaraz, Draper backhand. Into the front of Alcaraz, Draper backhand again. Into the front of Alcaraz, Draper again with the backhand. Down the line is great from Draper. Alcaraz somehow gets it back. And then Draper slaps into the front of Alcaraz, who puts it in the net. 40 love. So we're just going to wait a little bit more time. 40 love. As the return goes to the backhand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz is wide. 3-2 Draper stays in front. All right. 3-2 Draper. Okay. How we doing, chap? Yeah, Draper is very much in this. So yeah, Gauff Eala is going to start in about 20 minutes. They're just giving Gauff extra time because she played already today. Totally fair. Totally understandable. Okay. Cool. Is Carlos fit? Yeah. So when the linesmen shout out, do they look at a zoomed in TV and just live at the line? There's no lines, people. They're gone. Anyways, Draper has lifted ever since being down a set of break. Yeah. Yeah, Draper's been great. All right, back to Alcaraz. All right, love 15. Alcaraz losing the first point. Love 15. As Alcaraz is a lovely forehand and Draper can't handle it. 15-0. $15-all. As the return goes out by Draper, 30-15. $30-15. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As Alcaraz eventually hits it in the net. 30-0. Draper looking for that. Looking for that break. $30-0. As the return goes out by Draper, 40-30. $40-30. As Alcaraz hits the backhand of Draper. Alcaraz the forehand of the backhand again of Draper in the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper. Again at the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper with the slice, but Alcaraz hit it wide and we get the deuce. And Alcaraz not happy about that. Now we get the deuce. As Alcaraz forehand in the back of Draper. Into the forehand of Alcaraz as Draper hits it out. And Alcaraz gets to advantage. All right. Alcaraz serving to try and stay in this set. As the back from Draper to the back of Alcaraz. Draper forehand is long and it's 3-0. Alcaraz hangs on. 3-3. Three games all. Okay. 3-0. Back to Draper. All right. Draper with a fault second serve. As Alcaraz hits it out on the return. 15 love. Love. As with a fault, second serve. And then Draper double faults, 15-all. 15-all. As we get a fault, second serve. As the forehand goes out by Alcaraz. And it's 30-15. And Alcaraz getting angry at himself. 30-15. As Alcaraz hits a drop shot in the net. Oof. That wasn't it. All right, 40-15. As Draper says a fault, second serve. And the return goes in the forehand of Draper, forehand from Alcaraz. Into the forehand of Draper, again the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper down the line. Alcaraz forehand goes wide and Draper leads 4-3. 4-3. All right. We're still waiting for Gauff and Eala to hit the court. They should be coming on in the next 5-10 minutes. Again, Gauff played earlier today, so they're just kind of giving her some extra time. So that's what we're waiting for with them. All right. Love this match. Win or lose, Draper is going to be a disruptor at RG. I agree. I think Draper... There was a lot of questions coming into this clay court season, right? Because Draper had no significant clay court results. And then Monte Carlo, he sort of lost early, and it was like, oh, maybe he's not going to be a clay court guy. Kind of like Fritz, right? Maybe it's going to be, he might do well one week, but, he's not going to be someone to, I guess, keep an eye on. And maybe we'll wait until Wimbledon, right? We'll start talking about Draper more, seriously at Wimbledon. But then obviously last week in, Madrid, or 2 weeks ago in Madrid, makes the final, which, again, fast clay, maybe there's a question mark. But this week, even if he loses this match, Draper is going to be a threat at the French. Like, he should make the quarterfinals at least at the French, based on this result. So, and look, if he loses to Alcaraz, loses to Sinner, loses to Ruud, loses to Zverev, any clay court guy, if he loses to them in the quarterfinals, fair enough. But I think we all now have an expectation that Draper should at least make it to the quarters. If he gets a good draw, maybe he gets a terrible draw and he has to play killers in the third round and then we can reassess. But I think after this week, and obviously Madrid, Draper is at least a quarterfinalist at the French. Maybe fourth round if he gets like a Tsitsipas or someone in the way, right? Steph, maybe he gets like, Rublev in a fourth round, which I think could happen. Then we can go, okay, if he loses to them, okay, fair enough. But if he has a good draw, Draper should make the quarters. I think we should all be expecting that minimum from him after this week and last week. All right, Alcaraz, 15 love. Backhand down the line. Goes long. 15-all. Yeah, best of 5 sets are different. I know. But, I think we should all still be like, well, he can play on clay. I think that's what we've learned, right? Last 2 tournaments, Draper can play on clay. Now, can he play on clay for 5 hours over, every second day for 2 weeks? I don't know. But he can play on clay, which is a question we had when we came into the clay. It was like, what, can he play on clay? We didn't know because there was no results. All right, 30-15. As Alcaraz serves. A fault, second serve. As we double fault Alcaraz, all right. 30-all. Chance for a break. For maybe Draper get a break here. As Alcaraz says, a fault, man. He can't get that first serve. Second serve. Second serve. Second serve, the backhand of Draper. Return goes into the front of Alcaraz. Draper backhand. Again, the front of Alcaraz. Draper slice. Alcaraz comes in, puts it away. And it's 40-30. 40-30. Again, Eala versus Gauff. We're just waiting for Gauff to be ready to come out on court. She played like an hour ago, or 2 hours ago. So we're just waiting for them to come out on court. They should be coming out on court in the next 5 minutes. All right, advantage. 40-30. And it's a return from Draper to the backhand of Alcaraz. Draper forehand. Into the front of Alcaraz. To the backhand of Draper. Alcaraz forehand again. To the backhand of Draper. He hits a drop shot, but Alcaraz is too quick. And comes to the net. Then Draper with a backhand passing shot winner. Kind of tricked Alcaraz going down the line instead of cross court. And it's deuce. All right, we get the deuce. Is it normal for the doubles matches to be scheduled right after singles? Both Gauff and Andreeva have to play doubles matches right now, right? It's not normal, but it's not uncommon. Like it does happen. It does happen. All right, deuce. It doesn't usually happen in like like to this extent. Usually, I'm kind of shocked they didn't put Irani and Paolini versus Gauff Eala later, but I guess they gotta watch out for Paolini too, because she's still active in the singles. As the return goes out by Draper, and it's advantage Alcaraz. Are we watching the doubles? Yes. We're just waiting for the players to arrive. But we're definitely watching the doubles. And then we've got Sabalenka versus Zhang coming up in about 2.5 hours. So hopefully it fits nicely in that time. And is it a fault from Alcaraz? Second serve. Second serve to the front of Draper. Return goes to the back end of Alcaraz, who hits it in the net. And we get back to deuce. All right, looks like the player's about to come out on court in the doubles, so perfect timing. All right, deuce. As we're to serve again from Alcaraz. Is a fault. Second serve. Here we go. Gauff and Eala walking out on court. And then Irani versus Paolini. As the return goes into the volley of Alcaraz. And Alcaraz hits it wide. Advantage Draper. Advantage Draper. Advantage Draper. To get the break and serve for the second. All right. Advantage Draper. Advantage Draper. As Alcaraz serves. Alcaraz with a serve. Is an ace. Woo. Okay, needed that one. First ace of the day. Needed that. All right, back to deuce. We get to deuce. As we get a serve to the back of Draper. Return goes to front of Alcaraz. Draper backhand. Down the line to the backhand of Alcaraz. Draper with the backhand again. Alcaraz comes in with a slice. But he overhits it. All right, advantage Draper again. Advantage Draper. Advantage Draper. 7-minute game, by the way. Very important game. Advantage Draper to get the break. Serve for the second. Serve to the back of Draper. Return goes to front of Alcaraz. Draper backhand on the stretch. Alcaraz volley is a winner. Back to deuce. All right, back to deuce. Nice volley by Alcaraz. He's hanging on. Back to deuce. And so Alcaraz serves again. Serving to the backhand of Draper. Return goes to front of Alcaraz. And Alcaraz puts it away. Advantage Alcaraz. And I think Draper is getting a little frustrated after that point. This might be a big game for Draper. If he doesn't win this game, he might get broken in the next one because he's starting to get frustrated. 8-minute game, and Draper's saying so bad, so bad, so bad. Yeah, Draper really didn't like losing that point. As the backhand return goes, nope, nowhere. 4, it was a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Draper. Return goes to the forehand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz hits it wide. Back to deuce. Very nervous game here. All right, back to deuce. Alcaraz in this set has played 44 points to Draper's 18. Crazy. Serve. Is a fault. Second serve. Into the backhand of Draper. Alcaraz forehand. Again to the backhand of Draper. Draper overhits it. Advantage Alcaraz. Advantage Alcaraz. Ten-minute service game. Serve again. Into the forehand of Draper. Draper in the net. Alcaraz holds a 10-minute service game. He knows how big that was. 4-all. Let's see if Draper can hold here, because he was getting frustrated at the end of that game. 4 games all. By the way, the crowd weren't even really cheering. It was kind of just like, whoo. Like, everyone was relieved. 4-4. Draper serves. As return the backhand of Draper. Forehand of Alcaraz. To the backhand of Draper. As Alcaraz forehand again to the backhand of Draper. Into the forehand of Alcaraz down the line. The forehand of Draper. Alcaraz backhand. Into the forehand of Draper. Again to the backhand of Alcaraz. Draper backhand cross. Alcaraz gets it. Into the backhand of Draper. Again to the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper. Forehand down the middle. Alcaraz goes cross court. The backhand of Draper. Again the forehand of Alcaraz. Who hits a winner down the line. Love 15. Beautiful shot by Alcaraz. He got the tape on the way through, so he says sorry, but love 15. $20-shot rally too. Love 15. Draper serves again. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Forehand from Draper. Goes out. Love 30. Love 30. Chance for Alcaraz to break and then serve for the match. Love 30. Serve out wide the forehand of Alcaraz. Backhand at Draper. This backhand of Alcaraz. The Draper with a forehand shank. Goes long. Love 40. Alcaraz with break points. Man. God, how important was that game for Draper in the last game? Also, Gauff serving first in this doubles match. Who's winning the doubles chat? I'm going to go Arani Paolini in 3. I think they might just sneak it out. I think they'll just be a little too experienced in doubles. And they'll steal it in a tiebreak final set. Anyways, forehand goes into the forehand of Alcaraz. Drop shot's good by Alcaraz. And he wins the break. Draper stopped running. 5-4. Alcaraz going to serve for this match. 5-4 Carlos. Man. I'll tell you, it might look like, this was straightforward. 4-4, but I mean, Draper looks stuffed, but he's put everything into this Draper. And if Draper maybe hadn't have done so well in Madrid and, busted his ass this week, if they do play at the French and Draper doesn't play, 5 setters up until the match they play, maybe there could be a little chance that Draper makes it awkward. Like, I think it's realistic to say if Draper makes it to play Alcaraz in, let's say, the quarters, and it's not like he doesn't have any like 5-set, 5-hour marathons, I think it's safe to say that, he'll at least get a set off Alcaraz in the French. Maybe 2 sets. I think he'll be a threat. He's just running out of gas. And it was love 40. Paolini and Irani about to break first game of the doubles. Love 40. As Gauff serves. An ace. 187 out wide. Whew, huge serve. 15-40. Now, Draper has definitely troubled Carlos. He was up 4-2 with a break in the first. And he was also a chance to go to 5-3 with a break in the second. So he's definitely been a problem. Draper-Alcaraz rivalry is starting to get real good now. Like, it's starting to become a thing. They've played, 4 times now on 3 different surfaces? This is a proper rivalry. When they played last year, it was like, okay, cool. But now they've played a few times and they've played all on different places and different different surfaces. We're starting to get a real feel of this rivalry and who wins on what and who doesn't, who's better on what surface and stuff. It's getting real fun. Still early, we still need them to play at least another maybe 3 to 5 times to kind of get a real feel of the rivalry. But this rivalry's getting interesting. It's getting good. All right, 15 love. It's actually a rivalry now, right? They've played enough to say this is a rivalry. Whereas when they play twice, it's like, what's that? But now they're kind of played, multiple times around the world on different places, surfaces. This is getting to be a rivalry now. 15 love. As we'll find out from Alcaraz goes wide. 15-0. By the way, Irani and Paolini do break. First game of the match, they break. The medalist, gold medalist at the Olympics. All right, 15-0 though. Alcaraz trying to win this match. as Alcaraz serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve in the forehand of Draper. Backing up from Alcaraz is too good. 30-15. 2 points away. 30-15. And he's going to play either Musetti, if he wins, he's going to play either Musetti or Zverev. I mean, come on now. Semi-final Friday, he's going to play either Zverev or Musetti. And that is fire. Rematch of the final of Roland Garros or a rematch of the final of Monte Carlo. Forehand from Alcaraz. Draper with a pass in the net. Match points, Alcaraz. 40-15 to take the win. Put himself into the semi-finals of Rome. God, if he wins Rome, chat. Monte Carlo, Barcelona final, wins Rome. Pfft. I mean, it might not be exactly what Rafa's been doing, but it's Rafa-esque. It is as close to what Rafa did back in the day on clay going into the French. It's as good as. As we just served down the tee, that's a fault. Second serve. And if he didn't get injured against Runa, who knows what would have happened in Barca. He could have won that too. Serve. Into the forehand of Draper. Return goes into the backhand of Alcaraz. Draper forehand. Into the corner. Slice goes in though from Alcaraz. Draper forehand again as Alcaraz gets it. Down the line. Oh, goes in. Draper thought it was out. And then he hits backhand into the forehand of Alcaraz. Draper forehand. Is out. And Alcaraz wins. Alcaraz is into the semis. And he gets a little revenge over Draper. GG's. But like I said, we need to consider Draper a clay court threat. He might not have beaten Alcaraz, but Alcaraz on clay is sort of one of the hardest things in tennis. All right. GG's. And also you can maybe put down a little bit of running out of gas for Draper maybe as well. Maybe that's what happened in the end too. Just the gas tank was running on empty going in, but even though he wasn't, maybe physically wasn't 100% Draper, energy-wise, not injury-wise. He put up a good fight. I mean, he was up a break in one of the first set. He was almost up a break in the second. I mean, 4-4 makes it look easy, but that wasn't easy. That wasn't easy. All right. Good work. Now, we've got the doubles going on. It's 1-1. Gauff and Eala broke back. So come on over here. We're going to watch this doubles. And then in 2 hours' time, we've got Sabalenka versus Zhang. So we've got a lot of tennis still left to go. But great win by Alcaraz. A good settling win. You know, straight sets against Draper, even though we said Draper played really well considering. Alcaraz beating Draper in straight sets, that's a good win for him. I mean, that makes him feel a lot better, I'm sure, going into Roland Garros. Now, he's going to play this Zverev or Musetti in the semis. That'll be on Friday, so make sure you join us for that if you're not coming back to watch the next ones. But jump on over here. We're watching the doubles. Eala Gauff versus Palini Arani. Very high-profile doubles match.